Then welcome to Monday, baby. You know how we get down. It's always a good time around these parts. And I got a special guest today. I'm so excited. So look, I'm gonna cross some T's and dot some I's, but want to make sure that y'all remember that I am going through my guest series for the next few months, and I want to be able to invite you in to talk about. We'll see. We'll see. Don't be trying to use my little guest spots to advertise your events. And then I want to play the advertising people, but you spending all your money with terrestrial radio because then I'm going to feel some kind of way about how you treat blowradio.com. And so as we begin, how y'all doing today? Welcome to Monday. It is a nice gray winter Monday here in the city of Milwaukee. Things are doing what they do around these parts, and I couldn't be more happy that it's not slushies and slushies and slushies of snow and dirt and all the uncleanliness on the outside. I'm very happy about that, but I'm also very happy to be here having this conversation. So I want to remind you that if you're listening to the radio show, of course, you are tuned in to blowradio.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You could be anywhere else, but you opted to hang out here today, and I absolutely appreciate that. If you're watching the show today, listen, we did this multi-broadcasting. I'm working it out, okay? So we are live on my personal page, JustPatrice. We are live inside of JustPatrice, my profile page, my personal page, live with JustPatrice, the group, blowradio.com, the group. I am JustPatrice on YouTube, and of course, we are live also on Calm Wellness Services page. Shout out to Calm Wellness Services who sponsors everything I do because it is me, all of us, all the things. And because of that, I invite you to come to 6333 North Green Bay Avenue and allow us to be part of your wellness journey. We offer intimate and intentional opportunities for self-care that do not stop at massage. We offer massage, sound healing, and we work with awesome people like my sister Serita that's sitting over here right now for classes for you to learn a bit more, even if it's just a series of networking that we get you into the hands of the people that can help you do the things that you need to do for your best option. We try to get it all in, and sometimes we realize that it's not just one person to be able to do that. It's not just one source. You have to be able to tap into as many resources as you can for your people, and it's an honor to be able to do that. So all the things with that. So again, if you'd like to know more about our business, go to Welcome. That's WELKALM.com and enjoy the sites on the website. If you have questions, click on the services. Go ahead and then a little pop-up button that said, "Hi, glad you're here." If you can inbox there or send an email, and one of us will get back to you as soon as possible. Of course, I invite you to call in today. If you're able to join the conversation, the number is 414 885 4739. That's area code 414 885 4739. I want to invite you to call because it's best to have your voice. We can discuss. I want to be able to hear you and be like, oh, they really meant that. Or, oh, they're so full of shit. All the things we can do them together and chop it up. Again, my special guest for today is Sister Serita Valmond, a chronic pain coach and wellness consultant. She is in the building. Your mic on, Mama? Make sure you turn your mic on.
I think it's on.
It absolutely is. And saying thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me here and looking at my nephew here. My neph pup is, giving
Doing
me
the
love.
Of course he is.
So as he does.
He a suck up. I need him to get his little life together.
Hey, I mean he loves me. All right, come on. You want to be on? He want to be on air, y'all.
He always want to be on air. He
keep
like
him on
because
air
he's
for 2
looking at him.
seconds.
Look at him. 5 minutes.
tell
This
me.
is not Houdini 5 minutes of funk. Chase.
Look at him. What you got something to say?
He like,
You know what? The fact that he really did that like he was about.
he like, Mama, don't let me. Then he looked me dead in my face. He's like, I'm on the mic, Mom. Do you hear me? Did people heard what I needed to say?
He's like,
did
I'm
they
on air?
Look, and then he got down. He did it twice, and now he good. Unbelievable. I cannot.
So yes, children.
Oh, okay, I'll take it. Now then he keep looking me in the eye like, what? Say something. Say something.
He's like, I'm with my TT. She letting me be here right now. You only getting a little bit of love, but
he trying it.
You know, you in trouble after this, right? You know
all the things he like.
I'm like, you know you're in trouble
Can he
after
look
this,
me
right?
dead in my face?
Because he know he in trouble after this. Look and see what he did. He done took me out the thing.
Did he? He
took me
did.
out-
He booted you right on out of
Yeah,
there.
he did.
See that, Chase? See what I
now,
mean?
now you gotta go away.
Yeah.
Bye, Chase.
Now you gotta go away. Shout out to David Sinclair for chiming in right away. We appreciate that. I'm gonna give you some time to log back in. You
Yeah,
good,
'cause
my
he-
butt. Don't
he-
you worry about. Don't you worry about. Chase, come here, baby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come on. There you get right on in.
I'll miss you, Chase. Like he
What
already
movie
know.
is that from? Dude was like, I'll miss you. I mean, because that's what we doing. Sit down, fam. Please. Thank you. Thank you so much. He looking like, what? I was out there.
Yeah, and it's like, no, sir. Just as quick as you came out, you go back in.
Exactly.
That's
Now
just how we treat the children.
That's good.
The children don't want to act right.
That's how they acting. They don't want to. They want to do their thing, but not do what they're supposed to do. It sound. I was gonna say it sound like a specific gender of adults, but I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that quite yet.
But
It might slide into that.
look, I was like,
yeah. We still love him though.
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
absolutely do. We love them too. We do. So let me ask you this. I made a couple of posts recently. Oh, look at Canbies. And one of the posts I had made about I was listening to not the whole conversation, but I was partially privy to a conversation where I heard some people, but not everybody in the conversation was doing the same thing, but someone was kind of seeking advice, but not really, but kind of sharing a situation. And then, but the advice that was being given to her was, how do I say,
subpar.
It's not even. It was more than that. It was so biased, and you could hear the bias in the advice. You could also hear that they was like even somebody said, "Well, if he felt that way, then he would already have proposed to you." Okay, or if you was really the one, because men know. And then I heard somebody else. All the toxic stuff, all the negative response things, all of the, and I was just thinking to myself,
"Oh, baby,
shut your mouths!"
Right.
That if you're not going to offer her any type of constructive direction, don't. But everything that you're saying is very destructive. Right. Everything not only are you making her feel bad for staying with this person who hasn't quote unquote proposed or made the move that y'all feel like should have been made by now. Right. You making her feel like she need to be treated this way and he not doing this. Or I was like, wait a minute.
It's bringing outside people into a relationship that they don't need to be involved in to begin with. And that's something that I remember in my younger years when I did not know any better, because the saying goes, when you know better, you do better.
That's what they say.
I definitely allowed a lot of that to occur.
Okay.
And now that I know better, I really, I keep my private life is that. It's my private life. It's for me and that person. If I feel like I want to ask a friend a question, the friend that I'm going to ask has clearly had a little bit of something going on in that area that could actually offer me a word of advice. Oftentimes, we're going to people that have never even been close to what you have or what you even gone through, and then are trying to speak on things. And so that's why there are professionals.
I'm like, what y'all doing? Hey, don't do that. Right. I was like, don't do that. You don't even know. I said, and the crazy part about it is like all the things that they telling her, she was a little frustrated, whatever they was having, but out of all the stuff that they were telling her, what they didn't know, and I can say this now because it's nobody that I know is listening directly or whatever the case may be, is that I know for a fact, because of side conversation, this gentleman is making plans.
Let's see.
I know because we talked about. I'm like, are you serious about such and such? Okay, I see you, sir. And he making the plans to do the thing, and now you now you making her feel like he taking too long.
And in reality, no, because the thing is, we all have a different timeline, and I'm so tired of everyone trying to feel like, oh, if you with this person for a year, 2 years, 5 years, okay.
I mean, because a man, no.
They don't.
I'm like, it's so funny because I heard it said several times. I heard it again this weekend, and then I heard it in regards to this conversation. So, which is why I'm on that. You get what I'm saying? I was like, I have to ask. You get what I'm saying? Because it's, and I'm sure there's a guy or two that'll jump on or whatever. I just think that even men pause. You know what I'm saying? Even men need to be sure.
Right.
It's like, so you just know that this gonna be my wife. That's what. Oh, do you?
Well, even taking a step back further, are you even sure this person wants to actually get married?
Are you sure that
have y'all had those?
Have you had any of these conversations?
Any of these conversations?
You just gonna tell her
that you mine. I'm gonna hit like caveman style. I'm gonna hit you upside the head.
We together. You I'm your husband. I was
like, sir,
who has said this?
Right.
And in what juncture was this shared along for you? and how come ain't nobody told me?
Right.
Where are the references for me?
Exactly.
What? Because typically there's a confirmation to be had. I don't know if nobody knows that, but you know what I'm saying? If quote unquote the spirit and or quote unquote the ancestors and or whomever it is on the other side of this here veil has some type, they always come with a confirmation. They don't just randomly be like, oh yeah, and then the Super Bowl is gonna be won by, and there's no evidence to support it. I mean, it just don't happen like that.
No.
And so I heard that, and it made me think about people's inability to be non-objective.
Yes.
Or to be objective and non-biased. So that's what I wanted to talk about today.
Yes.
About the ability to remove yourself from a situation. If it is you offering advice.
Yeah.
If you're not, then this probably don't apply to you. But if you know that, let's just say I have a friend. And we have a mutual friend, let's call it that way or whatever. And me and that mutual friend are not in the best of terms at this point. We've all been friends, everything's been great, but right now, me and this person are not having on the best of terms. How do you offer direction? How do you offer being the what do you say, the tie that binds?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Almost being like a mediator, really.
So do you offer mediation? Do you not say nothing? Do you listen to both of us about each other? Like, what I got some questions.
It's funny you say that because this literally just happened to me like maybe about a month or so ago.
Okay.
Where I'm the mutual party in between.
Okay.
And I was sitting back and I actually listened to both sides. And then I just sat in the middle and was just like the mediator.
Okay.
Between the two, I'm like, okay, so I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm hearing what you're saying. And I have to say, like, hey, stop for a second. You got to listen to what this person's saying first. I said, because you're right now, you're trying to listen to respond. You're not listening to understand. So I need you to take that step. Just one moment and like, let it marinate after what they're done saying. It's okay to pause and say that you're thinking about it. Because sometimes we get afraid of the pause. We get afraid of the silence.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's about to come behind that silence.
Facts.
But I'm a person where I will say, and I say to people too, I'm like, hey, it's okay to say, I'm taking a pause right now. I'm processing.
Absolutely.
I'm not, upset with you or anything. I'm just really processing what you just said to me because I didn't realize that's the way you felt or whatever the case may be. That's fine. It's okay to say that because that avoids the rah-rah.
Okay, I'm listening. Come on, keep talking to me.
So when you go into the rah-rah, that goes into a whole nother situation that could be avoided.
Right.
And that's a lot of just when it comes to just good old-fashioned communication. Like, let's just go ahead and let's just chop it up. Let's just talk it out.
Indeed.
And let's see where that part happened, where we are kind of like on the wrong side, and see where that occurred and be like, okay, so this is where I see you went left, I went right. Okay, we were both on the same path, but how did we get here?
Is that my phone or yours?
It's mine, and I thought I had it muted.
It's cool. I just want to make sure that we all good. So so I know we're on the same page. I'm like, so okay, let's say you and I, the three of us were friends. I'm using another scenario. Y'all ride with me. Shout out to Kenda. Shout out to Tiffany. Hey, how y'all doing? So the three of us are friends. Okay. And then you and that person fall out. Okay, no problem. But it's not violent or hostile, whatever. Y'all just ain't messing with each other like that no more. Okay, no worries. However, I'm still associated to them, and you and I are still associated to them, right? And then me and the person have some disconnect or whatever the case may be. If we're having a conversation about that or whatever, how do you then advise, or do you even not offer advice on this situation? Like, can you remove the scenario that you and them had and address the scenario that I'm having with them?
That's a good one, because I feel like I've had that situation happen too. Okay. And I had to just, I believe in that situation, I just took a step back and I said, well, what is your heart telling you?
Okay.
And I kind of put it back with the person that was having the initial issue.
Okay.
Because what was happening is they were trying to say, well, I remember with your situation. I'm like, don't bring that part into it, because that's not going to help with the situation that's going on right now, because I don't know what that person's gone through since I've removed myself from that situation. So I don't know where they're at in their journey, whether they stood still or whether they've actually moved forward,
they've matured or something,
right, or matured or done
oh
the
my
work.
God, did you say that the possibility of maturity exists?
It's a possibility.
It's possible that the fact that you and that person had a discord, and from that lesson,
they
may have learned some things. It's is that possible?
It's possible.
Who knows shit? Y'all be killing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are set up to grow and to learn and mature and to reason and to adjust based on scenario, whatever. And we keep locking ourselves into the mindset that once a dumbass, always a dumbass.
Right. I mean, unless they continue to be a dumbass. Then
I mean, if you're behaving in the capacity there and of, but if you don't even know, you ain't even been around. Right. How do you know if I'm the same person? How do you know if I've learned? You just gonna put me on in your little box. You know what I'm saying? Like, no room to say, maybe you did learn something and whatever, and maybe the other person that I'm at odds with, maybe they was wrong. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't me this time. Maybe that the person that's talking with you about me, because that I'm at odds with now, maybe they did me wrong. Could be a thing.
Yeah, it's possible.
So I love that you even keeping that mindset open, because people automatically assume the one-sidedness of it all.
Right.
You know what I mean? You like, let's not use my scenario. Let's not address, how I was involved in this situation. Tell me how you're feeling about it. That's a whole level of maturity that some people just are not ready for.
No.
I'm like, what? You just gonna put all of your own experience on there, and it's like, so crazy for me to watch. Like, if I'm trying to say whatever, let's say in this, you and this person are in currently in Discord, okay, and you and I are talking, but the person and I have had Discord, and I ain't messing with them. So remember, I just reversed the scenario. Right. I ain't messing with them. So I'm talking to you. You're telling me and whoever else about the situation, and I'm like, because that's just what this motherfucker is about. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I don't even know why. That's what they do. Like, dude. I mean, okay. Under the circumstances and some of the relative emotional and mental awareness that you offer, tell me a little bit about this type of person. Does that make? Am I making sense? Did I make that clear?
The person that's
well, I'm just saying, if they was on their shit, or I'm just telling you because this happened to me.
You talking from your trauma, because you ain't healed from that spot yet. You still in the same spot that you were in 6 months, a year ago, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, however else it's been, and you haven't moved from that spot. So you're still hurt. You still butt hurt from that situation.
So what type of advice should I be giving you?
Probably none, because if you in a butt hurt situation, you're not going to give me unbiased opinion. You're going to give me based off of what happened in your scenario. You're not going to be able to give me from where I'm at right now.
I just wanted somebody else to say it, because, and if I was wrong in my assumption, maybe I'd just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And I feel like from a person who is a wellness practitioner to a person who's a wellness practitioner, you know what I'm saying? But you have therapeutic exchange or whatever, and you do discussional dialogue, the whole 9 yards. So with that experience, being able to say, maybe this is not the best place for you to offer input. You know what I mean?
But also, too, knowing who you should be asking for the input from. And I think sometimes we have a tendency, because we feel like they're our friends, that they're going to have our best interests in heart. In reality, you got to oftentimes get an unbiased person that's not even involved to be able to go ahead and have these conversations. Like for me, I'm open to say that I have a therapist. I was just talking and said, I see my therapist Monday, 11 a.m., me and her, we hanging out. Next week, Monday, of course, we can't because of the holiday. And the other one behind it, we can't do it either. But we just a couple days later. That's okay.
It's Christmas in a week.
Yes, it is, unfortunately. Yeah.
What time is 1, 2? I start counting.
It's exactly next week, Monday. So, yes. So, I mean, to be able to go ahead and just be like, hey, this is a scenario. This is what happened. This is my point of view. You can play devil's advocate, however you want to go ahead and play it. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk about it. And I talk to her and she'll tell me, and she'll say to me, she's like, Serita, you was wrong. Or she'll say, you know what, that person was wrong. Like she'll go ahead and tell me, she'll be like, and that's it. And I appreciate that, because I need to be checked sometimes too, in a professional way, in a nice way. To be like, hey, Serita, you know, you're not on it right now. And I will accept and be like, okay, you know what, you're right. I'm not. I need to go and just duck off for a little bit and figure out what's going on and be okay with that.
So Kendra said, this has happened to me before. Tamisha Dean chimed in. She said, I've certainly experienced this. Then Kendra said, in my case, I was introduced to a new person who I later found out both parties were just rekindling their friendship, and it didn't work out. So I ended up in the middle. Whoa. And then I encouraged them both to communicate and work through it, but I also voiced my concerns and opinions.
Absolutely.
Okay. Crystal Ship chimed in. Hey, love.
Hey, Crystal.
Devon D chimed in. The world is watching. What's good, sir? So I guess, so all of that to say, there's just levels of maturity that I'm listening. I'm hearing from you, and I'm hoping that the audience is also taking in. It's just so important to me. One, of course, you have to be mindful. If I know that you and this person C has had some discord, I'm probably not gonna come to you for advice about them, unless I know that you have the capacity to be non-biased.
There you go. And that's the other part too. You just hit on the head, the capacity part of it as well. Because sometimes it could be that, you know, we could be the most well-versed person, but at the same time, we're also human at the end of the day. So there can still be moments where you be like, you know what? This person still ain't my jam. I don't care what you say. I've watched this person mature and grow. I'm still in the spot where I can't get past it. And it's okay to admit that you can't get past it.
Could you just say that one more time, please?
It's okay. Look, I'm going to look at the screen. It is okay to admit that you cannot get past it.
Come on.
It is okay. Do your work. And it's okay to do your shadow work, figure out where that's coming from, because 9 times out of 10, it's not from that situation. That situation has triggered something that happened to you, whether it's in your childhood, teenage years, early adult time. That's where it's coming from. Now you need to go back and figure out how you can repair that part. That's all.
Listen, see, this I love talking to people who are growing up. I like growing up.
Trust me, it took a minute.
I'm just saying, but that's the whole thing, though. You know what I mean? Like, nobody is saying that you're gonna get it right the first time,
or even the second time.
Or even the second time. And there's no judgment saying, hey, you gotta be, if you don't do this, then whatever. All I'm encouraging, all that I'm hopeful of, you know what I'm saying, is that you take a moment to be honest enough with yourself, because you might not be able to be honest enough with other people, but at least be honest enough with yourself and be I don't even like that motherfucker, and I'm not gonna tell you nothing nice about him.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
There are still a few people that I'm definitely like that. Come on, man. There's nothing I can say nice about this person, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth quiet. And that's why I go, okay.
And don't get me wrong, if I see that you are being caused harm
Oh yeah, then I'm definitely gonna
then
say
be
something.
like, wait a minute. Now I can't give you no non-biased engagement about them, whatever, but I can't tell you
like
that I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
and like, come on now. There's a level of honesty that you have to be able to be with yourself so that you can do it. So you can engage or don't have somebody else do it. Be like, hey, look, I'm just telling you now, I don't like this motherfucker that they talking about. But that shit ain't cool. Maybe somebody else can do it. Maybe somebody else can tell them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But it also takes a level of self-awareness that a lot of people do not have, and also the emotional intelligence with that too. So those are two other pieces.
A lot of people
that don't, that you got to work towards and work on, because some of us can't even describe what we're actually feeling outside of mad, sad, hurt. Like, we can't even go into any of those. We're either angry or we're happy. We don't have like an in between. We don't know the other array of emotions that are out there.
Oh my gosh. Did you just say that there were other emotions?
There's an array
of emotions. So oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? and none of some of them feel the same,
but they're not.
Oh, son of a bitch! I know I be being extra about it, but I'm like mind blown. Come on, y'all. Like, really, come on. Pissed off and happy is not the only feelings. They're not the only emotions. Oh, I'm sorry. Pissed off, happy, and horny. You sexy time.
Right.
Get the fuck. Come on, man. Please learn them. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being angry and being hurt.
Absolutely.
And disappointment or you know what I'm saying? Betrayal. They all trigger different kinds of responses. They feel the same.
Right.
Because you haven't learned to process them individually.
Correct.
Disappointment is not the same as fucking betrayal, people. Correct. You understand? A betrayal is an intentional act. Your disappointment is your expectation. It don't have nothing to do with the fucking person.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It's just the expectation that you put on someone, which number one, because you didn't have a conversation, you put the expectation.
You shouldn't have done that. Oh my gosh. I'm serious. Like, and I get to the point where I'm like, I don't know why you did that, but I do know why you did that.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And I've been in the situation several times, and we talked about this last week when Mario was saying perception is reality. I was like, no, it's not.
It's that person's reality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not reality. It's this how you living. You don't get to impose your life. You got your own matrix, bitch. Leave me out.
But the other part of that too is to realize that we have this whole thing going on up here that nobody knows about as well either. So no one knows this person up here but you. And then we're trying to inflict that onto somebody else where it's like, no, you can't.
You're out here lying to yourself and them.
And everybody. And the people. And you lying to yourself and the people.
Lying to yourself and the people. The worst part of that for me, though,
delusional. Okay.
Is the delusion of it all. Because you, in order for you to truly be, there's another breakdown too. So delusion is the process, the inability to process for yourself.
Correct.
They don't have nothing to do with other people.
Right.
That's within yourself. That's for you, where you have to be honest and clear. You get what I'm saying? Removing all of your inhibiting obstacles for yourself.
Correct.
Okay, that don't have nothing to do with other people.
Else.
You cannot. You know what? I was going to say you can't blame other people for delusion. You kind of can give them give it room because they've given you feedback or they've given you the feed that would create the delusion,
or they might not have.
So and you just in your own head saying we is married, and they was like, "Where's the paperwork, yo?"
Like, I've never met you.
I don't even know.
I've only seen you because I have a lot of that, honestly, and I can talk about because we're here and I'm.
Let's do it. I
have a lot of people that are messaging me that feel like they know me, and I've never met these people a day in my life, but because I've shared information about situations that have occurred and I'm trying to help others, then they feel like they know me.
Well, that's okay. That's your celebrity.
That's the social media.
That's the social celebrity. And people be like, so relate to her. And why we cried when Luther Vandross and Whitney Houston died.
Or even Marvin Gaye.
Or Marvin Gaye.
My mama cried when Marvin Gaye died. And I still to this day was so confused. And I'm like, I'm 4.
Yeah.
I'm chilling playing with my Barbies. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Marvin Gaye died, girl. I remember being in the living room like, Mama, Mama, the man's on the TV set.
Right. And then seeing that they pulled the body bag or whatever out. They pushed it out.
Right on the TV.
Yes. And I was like, there's a black bag. Why is there?
Where the he in a bag? Right. Okay, I had questions.
Yes. Lots of them.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that
was 4.
Come on now. It's the relatability in those moments that you like, okay, I do understand how I've created a space for you, but that transference area is real fine.
Correct.
And we have to be able to establish. That's why practitioners like sis, you get what I'm saying, or myself, have to establish boundaries.
Correct.
Because if we are not cognizant enough to establish a boundary, you will cross it.
Correct. There are a lot of habitual line steppers as well too, where you have to go ahead and let them know that if you want to be a line stepper, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Listen,
it's okay, and my services are definitely available on my website.
Listen,
you can go ahead and reach out that way. And if I say that it's okay for you to reach out in my DM, it's specifically for this reason. It's not anything else. It's specifically for this particular service or something that I'm talking to you about. Please DM me about that.
Did y'all hear what she said?
But if it's not regarding that,
look in the camera and tell them, sis.
If it's not regarding a service that I'm offering, or that you would like to inquire about me providing services for your organization, yourself, that's a different conversation. Please message me. We'll set up times. We can talk about it. I'll send you a proposal. We can do all that stuff. And proposal meaning for the services, not to marry me. I had to make sure I make that purposely clear as well, because that's another level of things as well.
I could only imagine. Kendra said those triggers are a motherfucker. They are. Yes. But let me just tell you, so I'm going to say this again. Fam, you are responsible for your triggers. Not the other people around you. You are responsible for handling, managing, healing, getting past. That's on. That's all of that. Again, that's a you thing. You know what I'm saying? And you over here triggering me.
Like, wait a minute. I don't know what your triggers are.
That was a goddamn trigger.
Right. And I said it to a lot of people. I say, hey, if I've triggered you, okay, let's take a step back. What happened to you prior that now was popping up by whatever I'm saying, by you looking at me, whatever the case may be?
What did I do?
What is it?
Yes.
Remember that situation, because I'm not the one that did that situation. So now we can go ahead and examine this.
Come on now.
And figure out what actually happened.
Do you hear me? Because I was like, wait a minute. Okay. I understand that that's a trigger, but what you not gonna keep doing
is blaming me.
Is blaming me because somebody else had done something. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, well, let's address the trigger.
Right.
Let's figure out how we can get you past the trigger. And I'm gonna come to the. I see you, Kendra. I'm gonna go there. Why are so many people? Okay, I know why. I just answered it for myself. But my question was, can we stop normalizing being comfortable in your trauma? Okay.
Definitely have to.
You know what I'm saying? I wanna encourage us and invite you to stop normalizing being comfortable in your trauma. Being comfortable with who you are is one thing. Acknowledging your trauma, you know what I'm saying? Not running from it is not the same thing as, well, I'm just gonna wear this jacket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because your trauma is not a badge of honor.
Come on.
And that's one of the things, and that can oftentimes too re-trigger you again. And on top of it, yes, it is.
Put that on there.
And right then here. The other level of that as well too, and I'm just trying to think, let me go back. Also too, with that trauma as well, is that it's messing with your nervous system, because that's the other thing. So oftentimes when people are getting triggered, that's now affecting your fight or flight mode, because that's what's being activated at the time of that trigger. So that goes right back to, again, being able to go ahead and speak on and recognize what's actually happening in your body. But we are not really, we get like high level overview when we're in school. Okay. When it comes like your nervous system and stuff like that. But then later on down the line, you really don't address it any further until something happens, when you might have like nerve damage, for example, where then you have to go ahead and find out, oh, well, this is, based off of this part of your body, and talk about those different pieces, and then being able to go ahead and educate on how your nervous system actually works. And even taking another step, from that as well, is that from me, doing my different trainings and certifications and things, I actually just am in the process of finishing up a integrative semantic trauma therapy certification, which is basically talking about how trauma is in the body, how to release it, and all the things that are going on there. And so one thing that's not talked about often is that people of color have complex PTSD.
It's very complex. Exactly.
That's something that we have to learn how to be able to go ahead and work with our nervous systems, because it's coming based off of what's happened, whether it's generationally, that's coming through epigenetics, as far as for that part, then also things that happen systemically to us, how we've been experimented on, all these different kinds of things. And now we are, unfortunately, in some instances, reliving some of it because of the triggers.
Indeed.
And so that's why when sometimes we'll be like, okay, for example, you have like either a celebrity or someone else that passes away. Well, we're all affected by it because that's been part of our generation of things that we've seen and we witnessed. So it ends up being like a community, and I hate to say it like this, but community grief.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we end up going through that as well.
That's the perfect title for it, though. So I guess
community grief.
Yes.
And we're all in community grief right now, and our bodies are
like
all
nonstop. It's crazy. It's nonstop. I get that, but this is what. So the somatic therapies are why I studied craniosacral therapy.
Yep.
And why I use that for whatever. And when I went to working with the Upledger Institute to be able to get to that and like become certified in that. Listen, it's so crazy. Like when I found that, the possibility of what that looks like and how your body remembers these traumas and like the tissue.
Yep, it holds on to it just like with the
tissue. Water. Listen, water is something. I just get to know like the molecules in these things that the matter that creates the things that are us. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's this bottle, this container, or my phone, or my flesh, or just all the things, and what they're created of, and how they respond, the living parts of them.
Yep,
is something, y'all. Like I know we sound like some extra like
like did we just enter the science zone? Yes, we did, because you know what, we need to know about our bodies, and that's the part that if you don't know about your body, that's how people get over on you.
Indeed,
you need to be able to advocate for yourself.
Kendra also says, so is it okay to talk to someone else other than your friend who triggered you for clarity?
I would say as long as it's a trusted individual, whether it's a person that's a impartial person, or even if you're talking to your therapist or someone else as well that's like a trained person, yes. If it's a person that's just like,
this your other friend, don't do
it.
If it's just your other friend, don't do it. Like you see, we like
don't
and that friend. One, it keeps down mess. It eliminates finding someone who's unable to separate the two, because you need truly a non-biased overview.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is that sometimes we can't do that. And something you might say could easily remind them. Now you triggering them because you was triggered, and they was like, you're like, wait a minute, that's not why I'm talking to you. I just okay, you know what? Now you telling them, you know what? Never mind.
Right.
And now they done develop opinions about this person. And that was not your intention. Your intention was to say, hey, I'm having a situation here. I'd like to be able to talk with this other friend about it. How do I get the clarity on my trigger so that I can come to them with the engaged intention? You know what I mean? I didn't ask. I'm trying to hype you up.
Right.
Get your sit down, fam. Or a matter of fact, how about you just go get some therapy and forget we had this part of the conversation.
Because all the time, like I will tell people about BetterHelp in a heartbeat.
Come on.
Because that's what I have my therapist do, is do BetterHelp.
You hear her? You hear her? Hey, Kevin. How you doing, Kevin? Oh, you don't like the echoes? You don't like that shit? There's too much going on? You can hear me all over through the building and feel like you can hear me. It's okay, Chase. Thank you, baby. You're such a great supporter. Such a great defending dog. Kenna said, absolutely. Then she said, thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Again, I'm not a licensed therapist. You get what I'm saying? But I'm working on. I'm a licensed physical therapist, whatever, and I have lots of year of youth development training and mental capacity support. But that's in the capacity of young adults and teens. But I don't know about y'all, but I know some 40-something-year-old people who who have yet to mature to the capacity beyond these younger adults and require an introductory behavioral assessment, which would qualify them for the area that I specialize in. And that's the nice way to say
but
that.
the hard part
Chase,
about that
here.
is that oftentimes this is the part where the brain comes in.
Come on now.
Because what the brain is doing now, it might be disassociating for them because of what happened and because of the trauma that occurred, it's stunting them right at that spot.
Exactly.
So that's why they kind of keep going back to whenever that particular trauma happened at their what age they were.
Yep.
A lot of people stick to that age.
And they be there. Like right there. I'm like,
there.
you gonna respond like you 17 for real?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
And the same thing for like people when they're like in jail. You know, they say when you go to jail and you come back out, you go in and come out the same age that you were. Because that's where your development is at.
Yeah, because that's all you stop. And all you know from this new exchange is this part over here. However, I can do over here too. Yep. How about no? And the only reason I'm saying no is that we accept 130% that everybody is not in the same space or coming from the same. Oh, I see you, Chase. I don't know who that was, but I see you. Or coming from the same space or starting in the place, whatever. But the possibility to move forward exists for everybody.
Oh, it's endless too.
And it's no boundary there. Like you can just keep getting better. You can keep maturing, keep growing. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, mentally, you can do that.
Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the whole nine.
You just got to be willing to do the work to get there, because it ain't gonna just fall in your life. You just gonna wake up one day and be like,
I'm delivered.
I am delivered. I don't like mans. Sorry, that was inappropriate. You know, but so we talk about this and we talk about dating, and we talk about the possibility of being able to make dating an option. These are the types of conversations you got to have with people.
And you got to be able to yourself first. Before
that's what I'm saying. You like, how are you really ready to be somebody's quote unquote, and we're gonna use this word for a reason, significant other? I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all hold that word for a minute. Significant other.
We're gonna let it marinate.
Their quote unquote person. That's a big deal. That's a big deal in what it means to the other person. You can't show up with your own idea. I'm sorry.
Of what you think is gonna be like.
You can't. Right, because
without the conversation,
you can't just be my partner any old kind of way you want to be my partner, fam. You have to be my partner according to the partnership that I need, and I have to be able to return that. And the same is why it's called a relationship. Right. So when we have to have these conversations and a breakdown, to relate is an actual exchange between individuals, right? Or collective exchange. And then the shun is an action. You know, this means that something is happening. And we already know a ship means a joining or movement of something. But you understand what I'm saying? Why you break the wrong words out like that? Because they're words and you're using them. Damn it, know what they mean.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are using a lot of words that they don't know what they mean. And that's the thing, that because unfortunately, like pop culture and things like that, people feel like they need to use certain words. It's like my favorite word that I love that people use very incorrectly is humble. And I'm praying for the betterment that people will pull up Webster's dictionary.
Let's come on. Let's make it do what it do.
All those different items.
What is that?
that they'll be able to go ahead and look at and see what the actual meaning of words are, the etymology behind them, as well too.
Let's talk about the word humble. Share with me your take on it, because I have some feelings about the word humble.
Basically having a lowering your standards of yourself for someone else.
Come on, Scorpio friend, break it down.
For me, the only person I might potentially would be for the Most High. But other than that, as any human being that I see out here, I'm not going to lower my standards of myself for anyone. I'm not. And I know that there's people that biblically, want to take in a different direction. That's fine. That's not what I'm referring to right now at this moment.
I stand on it. The word mean the word. The word mean the word. Don't try to change the word definition, people. I'm in here. She said what she said. I'm telling you, the word is the word. Look it up.
But it's definitely exactly what it means.
Want me to be less than?
For you want me to be less than
for whom?
Right.
You want me to just shorten my everything to make some so you can listen. This little light of mine.
I'm gonna
let it stop it, because I'm gonna tell you, ain't nowhere in the book that God say. I mean, if this is the book you want to refer to, I'm just go there. He didn't say, "Hey, be less than." Nowhere in the book did he say, "Hey, be less than." Now, what he did say is, don't be around here being boastful and being annoying and trifling. Don't be around here making people feel less than you.
Right.
That's what he said. He didn't say don't be. He didn't say be less than. He said don't make other people feel less than you. Get it together. Oh, y'all about to make me do it. Y'all about to make me do it. Shout out to Ike the writer for joining the conversation. We appreciate you. Kenneth said dimming your light because of other people's are uncomfortable is not cool. There's not nothing about it.
No.
And there's nothing about that that's right. I tell people this all the time when I'm using light analogies. We talk about the burning candle. Perfect example of being able to understand that somebody burning multiple candles brightens the room.
Yep.
No corner gets darker. No part of the space gets left behind. As a matter of fact, when other people brighten their candles, the space becomes greatly illuminated, and your area, which may have had a cast of a shadow at some point because your light may not have been as bright, guess what happened? It lit your space up too, yo. And now we all shining. Absolutely. And you mad. You need punch in the stomach. No, I don't mean that literally. Don't do that.
But you're mad because your light didn't shine as bright as the other lights combined at that time.
That's a whole special issue.
And we're not all going to always shine bright all the time either. That's where we come together as a community.
Come on now.
To pull up our other friend or brethren, whoever you want to call it, that is having a low moment.
Come on. If my light is on 2, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in the room. Let me be in the room. Can you bring that light over here? Because right now I can barely see.
Right. And I need
I can barely see, and I need all the extra light. Thank you so much. Now, you done brought it here. Now we might just be on the 18 together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But an 18 is not a 2, my G. An 18 is not a 2. Absolutely. And guess what I'm gonna tell you? Your light don't change less when you pushing averages. The other end don't get lessened.
Nope.
It doesn't go away, yo. The amount that you bring to the table doesn't go. I'm so agitated. I'm so agitated by that. I'm like, come on, y'all. We have to trust and love and know better. That's just like adding sound. Like, okay, I'll go to that in a little bit. Another term that disturbs me in the capacity that I try to get people to grasp what you're saying is vibrate higher. Yeah. Or good vibes only. Yeah. I'll be like, wait a minute.
We're not always gonna have good vibes.
Let's talk about
toxic positivity.
What that looks like. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to vibrate higher. Okay. A low vibrating you can't always be somebody. I was listening to something online. They were saying something about you can't always be in your root. That's a low vibration area. It's not.
No, that's not. That's grounding.
I was like,
that means your energy is grounded.
I said, what? That's the lowest frequency. I'm like, you misunderstanding it.
Yeah.
Okay, you are definitely misunderstanding the quality in the purpose in the balance of where you're vibrating. You know what I'm saying? And what it is, if your root is not firm, if you're not established, then
you're gonna fall.
You're going to fall over. You gotta lock your feet in. How do you do that? You stay connected to that level of vibration. Stay connected to, like, the goal is to have everything vibrating. Like, then if that's the case, then when you get like that, then you like some sensei shit. I'm just saying, because then you don't even know, like, the level of floating and the effect of what you're having on the universe and the people around you is just uncanny, and you can't even really wrap your mind around it, because the likelihood that everybody has had, that anybody in our existence of life has had all of the chakra in full fledged top-notch vibrating
all at the
same time.
Hey,
well, listen,
I would like to meet you.
I will take you.
Can I touch the gown? Can I touch the hem of your gown?
Come on,
touch the hem of your gown.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Can we
what
just
feels like?
Let me just go on and get a little bit. Can you blow this way?
Right.
Because at this point, the breath from your lungs is about to do something for my life. I need all of that. You understand me? You know what I mean? Like, seriously. So vibrate the best you can. You know what I'm saying? And then seek wellness.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's as frequently as you can, because the truth of the matter is that we're all human, and some days are going to be better than others.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Absolutely. And like you said too, it's like other things will trigger other things as well. Because I can say for myself, this time of year is not my favorite time of year.
Right.
I'm not a fan. I'm the Grinch normally around this time of year.
Okay.
And so I make sure that I keep myself, I might not come out to a lot of events and things because I know my energy is not the best, but I come out when I feel like I'm at my best. And when I'm at my best, then I'll be out here. But the holidays is just not, holidays don't be holidaying for me, but I'm working through it.
I this year I have been making so much intentional effort to not be
the Grinch.
Yeah, to watch this, because I know, bro, really, and I'm on air. Did you? Yeah. That's so awesome. That's so great. But we're live on the air, blowradio.com. It's okay. Thank you so much for plugging my business. I appreciate you. No worries. See you soon, bro. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.
Right.
I've been really trying to be intentionally positive in this area. And when it comes to, like, this decoration and stuff, whatever, it was on purpose.
Right.
I was like, oh, I do it again. Because I have a natural inclination to be grinchy, to be withdrawn, to be, and I'm trying so hard to be on the other side of that, not just for myself, but for other people, because, like, y'all work really hard to stay connected and be positive and be loving on me specifically, and I can only speak from that. And so I want to be able to return it. I want to be able to be present, and I just haven't been able to. Like, and we talking about 10 years or better, and I haven't been able to. So this year I was like, we're gonna do it as long as we can. As long as we can, we're gonna get up in the morning and we're gonna do something, and we're gonna try, and we're gonna, and I don't know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna try it. And we're gonna,
and that's the same thing I've been on for the past 6 years myself, where I've just been like, hey, and when I notice it happening, I reach out and I say something to the people that I know can go ahead and inspire me.
Come on,
just
now.
Like when I came out on Saturday, I said, okay, I'm like, it took me a minute. I did all my things, and I have my routine of things I do. Once the routine is done, if I'm like, okay, I can come out. Or if I do the routine, I'm like, yeah, no. It's like, it's
still not gonna make it.
Then I'm still not gonna. But it's like, but hey, I've tried. I've done the things that I know within my toolbox,
right,
that normally will work for me.
Understood.
And if it doesn't work that time, that's okay.
And that's okay also, because sometimes you just won't. It'll be okay. Troy Seabrook had said, "Evil hides in the darkness." Right. See, that's how I feel too. I just want you to know,
because
evil
there
can
can
be in
be
death to the
evil can be in
sun.
the brightness,
In the brightest of the bright.
It really
You get what I'm
can.
saying? And quiet is kept and in reverse. And the things that we think where there's a harm for you or where you think is the darkness, there's sweetness
Yeah,
in these quiet, dark places.
absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
You're able to
So
go
I
ahead and
hear
learn in those
where you're
spots.
going in, and we speak it in traditional. And we talked about this last year, how we're taught one thing along the
Yeah.
way, and then whatever until we find out that
That ain't right.
there's an exception to the rule.
Mhm.
There are multiple exceptions to the. Oh, okay. So
There's
that shit might be wrong.
So it's also that duality, and that's the
Come
thing
on
when
now.
two things can exist at the same time.
At the same time.
That's why I've been
Come
working on
on.
making sure I'm not using but so much. So I'm using and
Me too.
because of that.
Yeah,
Because
like
I
so,
recognize that. I'm like, no, and then sometimes it sounds funny, but I'll still say it anyways. I'll be like, you know what? I'm tired and I'm hungry.
Yeah. Okay, Trace. I'm so proud of you. Tired and I'm hungry.
Mhm.
Exactly. I'm tired, but I'm hungry. So
Yeah.
no, I'm tired and I'm hungry.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? I'm tired and
Mhm.
yeah, but because and we all know that once you use the word but, we are negating the state. You just removing the whole point. The statement before here didn't even matter.
Right.
Why did you say it?
Exactly.
Well, I just wanted to express it because no, it means nothing at this point now. Not means nothing. It's diminished.
Correct.
That's not that it means nothing. It definitely becomes diminished. Okay, y'all jumping on. I see y'all. Whatever.
Even similar to like when people say that those apologies that aren't really apologies. And I know you know what I mean when I say those apologies that aren't really apologies.
Yeah.
I apologize if you felt that and whenever I hear those words, I'm like, that's not an apology. So I need you to rewind it back because that's not what that was. Because you just basically diminished the whole entire experience that I'm having right now by trying to tell me how I felt. Like you clearly didn't know how I felt because if you did, you wouldn't have had that conversation.
And in situations like that, I try my best to say something. I usually say something like, I'll be honest to say that I don't understand why you're feeling the way that you felt. I appreciate you trying to explain it to me. I've caused you harm and I apologize for that. Even though it wasn't intentional,
Correct.
I still offer an apology, and I would like to see if there's anything that we can do to either make reparations, to offer an amend, because my intentions was not to harm you.
Correct.
But I had to learn. How the fuck did you get that in your mind? Like I didn't even. Don't do that. Not if your apology is genuine.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've done it. You know what I'm saying? I've had to say, that's not what you say to somebody that is harmed. I hear what you're saying. I do understand everything that you're saying, and I offer an apology.
Correct.
For how you're feeling.
Or the part that
or
I
the part that I
played
play for, right? Or the part that I played in that, whether I understand it or not.
Correct.
And then you can go from there. Because the truth of the matter is, you can be honest and say, I'm not saying take responsibility for something that you don't grasp. Right. Tell them, look, I don't get it. However, my intention is not to cause you harm or to hurt you, and I want to do what makes this right. And then you have to, but be clear enough to say that. Again, stop lying to yourself. But that just said, why you always lying? Why you always lying?
Y'all lying.
Shout out to Michael J. Curtis.
Hey,
my heart love y'all. Hey now, beautiful spirits. Well, hey now. He said, I'm usually not either. You can still come eat. Hashtag in Houston. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Kenda says, let's see. Some folks show a feeling away and bring that energy to you, and that's when I make my exit. This year is really tough. Hold on, bear with me, mama. We can't be right all the time. Absolutely not.
And
absolutely
not.
We
also don't need to be.
And you don't need to be. Because let me tell you, the ego that show up when you are is crime against humanity.
Yes.
I was having a conversation with a guy friend of mine. I said, hey, that's not a good idea. And he was like, why you say that? I said, I'm just trying to tell you. I just want to see whatever. This is what I'm seeing. And he was like, you act like you ain't never wrong. I said, I never said that I wasn't never wrong.
Right.
And I'm telling you that sometimes I am wrong. This is just my assessment because you asked me. And so you can deal with it. Then later, he did everything but say to me, okay, you might have been. I'm like, I'm not here to be right, especially if my being right is causing you harm, or I was right about something or someone hurting you. I'm not basking in the joy of that.
Yeah, I'm not the I told you so police.
I'm like, come on, sir. I'm just simply saying, keep an eye out for these things, because this is, you don't see nothing because you ride our bushy tail with your nose out open, so you're not seeing some of that stuff, and that's cool that you don't see it, because that's why you're supposed to have people around you who's supposed to be about them shits. Yep. And you be like, oh, so just be careful. They put onions in the soup, and I know you're allergic. Right. You be like, ain't no onions here. I didn't even see it. Okay, they blended the motherfuckers up. There's onion in the soup.
Like it's in the broth.
It's in the broth. All right. Okay. Do you have an EpiPen?
Right. Like now it's like, and now you got all these, these welts and shit coming on you.
The question is, okay, fuck what I'm saying, because you're not listening to me. Let's go to what's important. Do you have an EpiPen? And how close do you live to the hospital?
Some form of medication with
right now, because there's a Benadryl. What you need?
Do you have an inhaler? Like, what do you?
Because right now, it's not what you think it is. Okay, no problem. Right. Don't listen to me. The question is now, do you have EpiPen? Are you prepared? Right. You know what I'm saying? And people's like, what do you mean when you do the question? The offset is, if I'm giving you warning and you're not taking that, the thing is, are you prepared to deal with the consequences? Yep. Are you prepared to deal with the consequences? Shout out to Seth. What's going on? What y'all japping about? These nuts. Why you acting like that? So we got to eat and take a nap. What? Okay, maybe I missed something.
Oh, because I said tired and hungry.
Yeah, we tired and hungry. You need, and then taking out. Absolutely, in that order. Yeah. Order. Which way you want to do it. Yeah. Or I don't know. Maybe you want to take a nap and then get up and eat.
And it could be that the food might solve the tiredness. It might just be the fact that your body is talking to you, not sure which one to take into account, I should say.
I said, I'm sorry. Sorry for how my words made you feel.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Seth. Please don't say sorry for how my words made you feel. I'm sorry that I hurt you.
Right. Like, don't go into your because
that apology is not necessarily in that moment. The apology is not for you. Right. Forgiveness is for you. Apologies are for other people. Remember that, okay? Yep. And forgiveness, when you offer forgiveness, you are offering forgiveness for yourself, so you can be free of the overthinking, the over encompassing of it. The apology is so that the other person, you can offer restitution. Yeah. You are offering restitution, and it's like, listen. When you've been in youth development as long as I have, okay. I'm saying, I just tell my kids all the time, hey, how old is she? How old are you?
Yep.
You want to go to jail? And they was like, y'all act like we didn't. I hate those comments. Yeah. You just because you was a jump down, you want your daughter to be too, and you want to high five and okay it, right? You want your son to possibly go to jail for messing with this kid, and he's far much more mature than that, sir, ma'am. Just because somebody might. It might be the mom that decided to use your son or your daughter as the example in that moment based on an experience that she had, and nobody quote unquote saved her. Correct. Let's not. Right. Let's just not.
That's those traumas coming back.
So go on and pause him off for about 6 months, because 6 months is at if you 18 and she'll be 7, she's 17 and be 18 in 6 months. Let me tell you how that 6 months will send you straight to jail.
Very much
straight to jail.
It could even be 2 months. It don't make a difference.
Straight
it could
to
be
jail.
Tomorrow.
Less than 30 days. Right. It's not. You still know she was 17. You son of a bitches. Y'all really on the other side of the hour. You gonna really give me this whole charge, and you gonna give them a whole charge. It's so crazy. I know people who had that problem. That I'm like, that I'm so sorry that happened to you. Yeah. Because that's messed up. Like she was, her birthday was, and I'm like, and then I wanted to say, and then you could have waited. Come on, fam, you could have waited. Stop all that hand holding. Like we used to line the kids up and be like, okay, y'all these age and separate them by age or whatever, and be like, okay, y'all can hold hands legally. You can kiss. You can't do nothing with nobody in here.
Don't even look at nobody.
Don't even look at them too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even worry about it. There's nobody in here. Right. You can't do nothing with nobody in here. And they was like,
for some years.
Are you serious? Yes. They was like, I did that. I promise you. I did it every other season in the name. They was like, Miss Patrice.
Like, yes, this is how it has to be.
I'm like, at this point, how you turn 18? Good, freshman in college. They right now, they just got to start the school. We going tour to UW, whatever. Anyway, you want to go?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because you can UW yourself to death. All up and through there, 18-year-old sirs and ma'ams. Knock yourself out. But everybody up in here, you can't even, don't even high five them too long. Because I look like your hands is on, and we mandated reporters. And I see everything. Exactly. Don't do it. I'm saying, like, what? How you manage that, Miss Patrice? I swear, I used to love sitting in the room with my back turned and calling stuff out. They'd be like, "How was you saying that?" I'm like, I don't know. I heard you move. I can hear you. I hear you walking. It sound like you was slow dragging over to get your ass over. Unbelievable. Shout out to Marima for chiming in. We appreciate you joining the conversation. Hey, Mama, what's going on? It's just little things like that, but the accountability of it all. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And being able to give non-biased, to be able to give, non-biased encouragement as opposed to using your scarred toxicity to just perpetuate the cycle of drama. Let's not.
But the thing too is also finding the fine line between it as well.
Because that's why they got professionals.
Right. And even with what I do and everything, I have to be mindful too, because sometimes when I'm resharing my story, I have to check myself and make sure that I'm okay in a spot in my capacity to be able to reshare that story.
Absolutely.
Because different parts can trigger different things. I never forget there's a time where I was sharing my story and shared it plenty of times. But just for some odd reason, that day when I started talking about my mama, I was done.
Listen.
And it just happened to be that day. And whether it's something that just happened to, trigger me at that moment, it's like being able to recognize that and be like, hey, you know what? Let me take a step back. Maybe today's not the day to be sharing that part of the story. Like there's certain times where I don't share the whole story. I'll give you like the 2 minute,
right?
Where I feel like the 2 minutes enough. But I know if it's a situation where I need to give the additional part, I got to make sure I'm okay to give the additional part because I don't want to live in that same spot. Because the thing is, when you're sharing those stories and things like that, your nervous system clicks back because the body keeps a score. And so it's remembering all that again when you're sharing that, because that vibration coming out through that throat chakra.
Come on now.
So you got to be very mindful of, okay, if I'm sharing this, I also have to make sure I'm taking my additional steps afterwards to take care of myself.
Listen.
And depending upon what that is for you, like for me, I got to go and Palo Santo myself.
Come on now.
Because I got to go ahead and clear that energy back out. Because I know if I don't, I might start to sit in that.
Yeah.
And sit in that same spot. And that's not the intent. The intent was me sharing this story as an educational piece to be able to go ahead and help someone, to share with them and let them know, here's another way that things can go. This is not the only way. I know you've been told by X amount of doctors, specialists, and all these people that have been practicing medicine that you are not going to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
But I have to share with you that you are looking at a person in front of you that was told these things. I'm right here.
But I'm here to tell you, there's something else.
There's definitely another way.
Come on. And the reason, and just for relativeness, think about when we were younger and songs used to come to mind. And you can hear a song and be like, oh, long time. And then immediately you are reminded of how you felt in that time.
Absolutely.
I was on the phone with my homeboy Vente about a week ago, and we were on the phone and we were talking about, and he said, it's a Stephanie Mills song. You and I.
Okay.
By Stephanie Mills. Okay, so the song that he was mentioning was not the Stephanie Mills You and I song. He sang another song that said You and I, and the part of that the key signature or whatever that he sang in that part reminded me of the Stephanie Mills song. And then I heard it, I could hear it clear as day. So then I started singing the lyrics and was just shocked by how I remembered all of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then I said, wait a minute, let me look the song up. And I looked up the song and found out when it was released, which was in 1979, which I had to be like 5. Okay. And I'm like, okay, so 5, let's say I was 6. You know what I'm saying? When this is, because I don't know when in 79, I didn't look that part up. But let's just say I was 5, 6 when I was listening to it, whatever. 6 years old. Okay. Now people think about the capacity, the mental capacity of your children and what they're capable of and what it is, whatever. And then all of a sudden I played the song and I started bawling, like crying. And I'm like, why am I crying? I don't even know. But what happened was when I closed my eyes and I listened to it and I allowed myself to feel all the feels, I started having memories and flashbacks of my grandma, my uncles, all my family that had passed away when we used to play over at Smith Park, all the crab. I was like, all these memories just came flooding back. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, that happened to me once when
what is this?
I was getting my hair done and Zoom came on by the Commodore.
Yeah.
And I was in the shampoo bowl, bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, why? Mom used to play that all the time and be singing it in the house. And I haven't heard it since my mom had transitioned. So as soon as I heard that, I just got to crying. And she's like, you okay? I'm going to turn it off. I'm like, we passed it now. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm in it now. Right. It's okay.
I'm like, it's okay. I said, but I need to hear that. I said, it's all right.
And I get that like wholehearted. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because you're like, what
this is? I'm like, what am I going? And he was like I wasn't like, it wasn't a soft, pretty tear. Yeah. It was not one of them soft. It felt like it was.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I was like, oh,
it wasn't the negative. It wasn't the indigenous one from the commercial.
The little side, no, the little sweet side, no. Yeah, no. I was like, oh wow. And the thing wasn't, and it wasn't like it was bad memories, and it wasn't a terrible feeling. Right. It was just such an overwhelming, like I was just covered in it, and I was like, this okay. Okay, and I got up and I even sent the song to my mother. And I was like, do you remember this song? Do you remember it? Like, can you tell me anything about it? Like, what memories do you have associated with the song? Where were we living? What was happening? Man, I was 6.
Yeah.
And when I say like all the lyrics, like all of them, I'm like, oh. But and don't get me wrong, I know now like the breakdown, everything. Here I want to stay. Yeah. I'm like, I'm like, this was, first of all, it was my jam. Why was this song my jam? At 6. What was this song? But it was my jam. But I started thinking about that. And I started thinking about other songs, and I'm saying all that to like, so when I was 8, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 is right now. We moved to California. Okay, so the time of all of the life that I had prior to moving to California was kind of smushed into a box and tucked away somewhere because I don't remember a lot of the details. I remember like I was like a little kid, 5 or 6, 7, whatever. And I remember having a fight with some girl named Susan when I went to Carlton Elementary because she called me the N-word. I remember the crab apples, the actual crab apple trees that used to be on Sherman and Silver Spring along the little road right there. They were actual crab apples and not these little berry bead apple things that be like they poisonous and if you eat them, you're gonna die. Don't do it. And that the row of houses on Sherman between Silver Spring and Florist have fruit trees in their backyards. Like there's a dog that used to live, 2 dogs, Red and Blackie, that used to live on the corner of like Florist and 42nd. Like, so these are little things like that you
and that's
remember.
Funny because that's where my old house was at. My first house I bought was off 39th.
Really?
39th and Thurston right there in that area. So I know all the stuff
these
you're
little
talking
areas,
about.
all these little pieces. But then but it's little bits and pieces. Like I don't remember the stuff with me and my cousins and hanging out and I don't remember all of those things. So that just right now, there's a big tree on 19th Street Place, somewhere around there, off of Hampton. It's when I say a big, stupid, big pine tree, that the leaves, like the bottom half of the tree is missing, and it's got a big hole hole in it, but it's not all the way around, just a big hole in it. And we used to climb in there and be on the inside of the tree. And I think I used to sit in the tree, you know what I'm saying? And while the kids played street ball, I sat on the coats and all this stuff, whatever. I remember that. I don't know how old I was. I don't remember where I was. I just know that it happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you more about the time that I spent from 8 years old to 14 when I lived in California. You know what I'm saying? I barely remember some of the things that I did in high school. It's like, I don't know if my mind removed those things because of the amount of because there's a trauma of some sort associated with it, or the hurt that I feel when I think of it. Like my mind just was like, yeah, we're gonna take all this shit and put it right on up. We're gonna put it on over here, and we're gonna from all of it. I mean, like, where's the stuff? Because people are like, oh, I remember such. I don't.
Right.
Do you remember something? I'm like, no. And people are easily offended when you don't remember them, of course. And I don't discredit that at all. I understand that, but when I have to explain, I don't remember a lot of things.
Right. And I say the same thing too.
I'm like, I want to remember. Share with me those memories, please. Some of it, because I don't remember none of it. We did what, when, where? I did who? I did. Don't tell nobody I did that.
But what's interesting though is when certain things do pop up, because there were some memories that popped up for me that I had shared with my father, where he was like, I can't believe you remember that. And I'm like, yeah, because, you know, you thought I wasn't going to remember this.
Whoa, she said you thought I wouldn't, but I did.
But I did. And I do. And we'll talk about that off here.
Yeah,
but, but it's like, you know, things like that where it's like, wow. So that's the interesting thing though, like I said before about the brain, is that it will definitely do that. It will protect you as best as it can. It will tuck you away from certain situations. That's
crazy. Like you just kind of trying to accept that. I was like, that's deep. Like deep. And a lot of people, you know, and like people are genuinely like offended. Like, how you don't remember that? I was like, it's a lot of details that I don't remember and some stuff. But the stuff that I tried to reach back and grab, like I had to call me, like, hey, did we such and such or whatever, or when did this happen, or whatever, trying to remember some of that stuff, and people be looking at me like, shut your ass up.
Well, yeah, like I had I had a cousin of mine that I had spoke to, and I haven't seen him since I was about maybe 9 or 10. And we were having a conversation, and he was like, do you remember, like, and we started talking about like my grandmother and my grandfather and stuff like that. And I told him, and as soon as he started talking, I said, yeah, I was like, I do remember that. I said, I remember Granny would sit on the porch. She'd be in a rocking chair. She had these 2 brushes, and I said I used to take her hair down and comb it down. And I said, and I remember it being gray, her hair being gray and white. I comb it down because it'll go down to her waist, and I put in braids, or I put in like 2 little, little buns and everything like that. And then Granny will always want me to go ahead and do that because she said I was the gentlest, because the other grandkids was too rough, and then it was me to being the gentle one. But I'm also the second youngest grandchild. So then I was talking to my cousin some more. He was like, you don't realize how much your granny, our granny, loved you. I said, what do you mean? He was like, Granny prayed for you to even get here before you got here. He's like, because I know your mom was told she couldn't have any kids. He said, Granny used to be at the church every Sunday, lighting candles, praying for your existence. So he's like, remember, he's like, you are protected by the ancestors before you even got here. So that, when I tell you I was crying in the car because he told me that, I wasn't ready for that part of the conversation. Like, what you mean? And he was like, he's like, for real. He's like, so just remember that. He's like, you're here for a reason.
That's a beautiful thing. Like to learn that about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, I was like, no, the family, we were looking for you.
Right.
Immediately, like we set intentions for you to come into this life. That's a beautiful thing, Serita.
It is. And like I said, that took me from, I was sitting in Mayfair parking lot crying for a little while as I was listening to him talk to me, but it was still something that at that moment I needed to have that conversation, because when he called me, he sounds like my dad when my dad was his age, because my cousin's in his 50s. And so he was just talking to me there. And when I first answered the phone, I was like, wait a minute, this sounds like my daddy, but it's not my daddy because I just got off the phone with him. So I'm like, okay. But just to have that, and I asked him, I said, can you share more with me? I said, I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I said, but can you share more with me about the family? Because I said, I really don't know that much. So can you just enlighten me on things? And so he was sharing me, sharing information with me and everything. And I said, thank you. That's what I needed.
Well, I think that's dope. Like seriously. I told you, I was like, dude, she real special. So but I mean that, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? I think first of all, I think that's dope. You know what I mean? And when you start thinking about laying out how you got here and what your purpose is, and are you walking in that, you know what I'm saying? And so it's that's dope. Absolutely. So it's purpose in, and all the things that you've gone through. We're talking about physically, mentally, emotionally to get to the state that you are in now.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Now we're not talking about just certifications and stuff like that, but everything that
the life
that you it took to get you here. That's fire.
And then even looking at the fact too that I definitely don't, look like what I've been through either, and also too noticing that I'm getting the Benjamin Button going on. Definitely feel like I'm aging backwards, and I'm okay with that.
She's like, yeah, I'm just a Benjamin Button tapping around these spots. Indeed.
Like,
shout out to Troy Seabrook, who always says such the nice things to me. Though I said I feel that way when I listen to your CD on Sunday mornings. First of all, I don't want you listening to the CD on Sunday mornings. And if I find out if you still got it and I happen to see it, I'm gonna steal it and put it into the compost. But that's just me.
Just gonna throw it out the window.
Immediately
on the freeway as you're driving.
Let me get it. And be like, why are you doing that, Patrice? I appreciate anybody that's ever listened to my music and was like, yeah, I really like this. And he's still listening to it. I'm like, why are you still listening to the music?
Well, are you getting residuals? Look, like, wait a minute, am I gonna get a check in the mail?
Listen, they doing whatever they doing with it, and it's going to where it's supposed to be going, but still. I'd be like, who is listening to this album on the I'm serious. I'd be like, who is on the Spotify right now? I know two of them already. I'm like, I know two people right now. I can call and be like, if you don't stop playing that damn CD.
Like, I appreciate my 50 cents that I got. Come on now. But can you?
They be playing it though, like playing it. Go. Hey, Bante. How's it going? Shout out to Auntie Rita. Facebook user said, not the compost. I did say the compost. Indeed.
Like, you better watch out so you don't get your head chopped off.
Indeed. So for this holiday season, and I've been trying to not say holiday season. I've been trying to say for Christmas, because I usually just kind of group it all together. But Crema.
For Crema.
Are you planning anything? Are you just snuggle time? Like
I do have my kids this year.
Okay.
So it's really upon what they would like to do.
Okay.
But I want to talk to them and see if they might want to like do some volunteer work, because that's what I did on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I went and actually was serving the homeless that day.
Okay.
Which that actually ended up turning into an entertaining experience, because a lot of them recognized me by my voice. And I was like, and I had the hat down low. I had the hair up in a bun. Like, I was making sure I was incognito as possible.
Okay.
And the voice gave it away.
Well, you do have a very distinctive voice.
I didn't realize that. I'm still grasping that. It's from a person that used to not like their voice at all to now being okay with speaking. It's a whole different level. As Chase lays right down on my feet.
Yeah, he's looking like he's trying to catch that. Vante Jones said, can y'all help me? Johnny G, there you go messing with me. What should I do? What? Vante, why are you playing on my phone right now? Because that's what this is. How about you just call 414-885-4739 and we'll figure out what it is you're trying to get us to do. 414-885-4739. Y'all know I always encourage you to call in, because for me, if we don't talk, I can read your comments. That's cool and everything, but it's always so much sweeter if I have you just call in and be like, yeah.
And we like to hear the emotion and everything behind your voice.
It's so much nicer,
because we can know where your intent is and where you're coming from with it.
Because I could easily be like, I feel that way when I listen to your CD on Sunday mornings.
Like,
what you mad?
Right.
Hey y'all, hey. Wait a minute.
Because it's all about whatever, energy.
You calling me hey guys, you calling me a dude. I could go back. I can go back and read. I can go back and ruin all of these comments real fast. You know what I'm saying? I can ruin all these comments real fast just from perception, because that's not what it's supposed to be. But Vante, can you let us know what you're talking about before I end up calling you? Troy said, LOL. Listen, I'm just saying I could go back and be like, I could make all these comments super sarcastic. Like, did y'all see that? Did you see what's it? I'm still learning them. Is it Key and Peele?
Yeah.
That where dude was like, what you mean? They were doing the text message, and one was mad, and the other one was like,
he's like, whatever you want. Oh, whatever I want to do.
Whatever I want to do. Are we squaring up? Then?
Right.
And I'm like, are you talking to yourself about this text message? You are. Yes. Don't do that. People do that all the time.
And that's why I'm that person. I'll be like, okay, let's get on the phone and talk, because I'm interpreting this in a different area, and maybe it's just me because I'm in a mood. Mm-hmm. So let's have a conversation about it. Yeah, you got on the phone, this person keying the whole entire time. You're like, yeah, you is about to get your clock.
Mm-hmm. I was straight about to go off. That's what happened.
I needed to hear your voice and know where you was coming from.
Marima said, and you do. I sat next to you one time on the tree show, and I heard your voice on the radio the other day. Immediately knew it was you. Immediately. Troy Seabrook said, it's all love. You already know. I do know that, Troy. That's why I was saying I could easily be like, well, so what you want though?
Right.
What you want? You charging me up? This is Michael J. Curtis said, I'm usually not either. I mean, you can still come eat. What? Wait a minute. I don't know. Evil hides in darkness. I can really go crazy on these texts right now. Mm-hmm. And then just read it however I feel like reading it and take it how I want to. And then all of y'all charging us up right now.
And that's not the intent.
It's not the intention. It's not probably not what's happening either. It's probably me making it all. It probably is. Probably me pretending. I don't know what people be doing. I'm like, I ask people that all the time. But what I've been learning over the last few years is that people, and this is why I'm very mindful of how I engage and react to people, because people respond or they assume based on the way that they would respond, or the way that if it was them, that's what they would do. Yep. So when I get into situations like that and somebody have assumed something or have done something, and I pause and I'll be like,
yep.
So what you saying is that if the shoe was on the other foot, that's what the fuck you would have just did.
Like, okay, I got you.
Say less. Oh, okay. What did Track Sanders said? Fuck you very much. Say less. I'm like, first of all, I never would have even. That wouldn't know. Oh, but
that's how you operate.
You would have. Oh, you thought it was you. No, I ain't mad, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? And so because of such, I'm gonna have to stop subjecting myself to your tomfoolery. Right. You're not gonna never get that chance to do that again. I learned that. It took me a whole mouth like, what?
Like, oh, that light bulb moment.
It did. I was like, so no matter what I'm saying that I could never have and whatever, and you can't wrap your mind around my never, because it's clearly the only decision that could have been done at that time, and that's what you would have did. You certain person, yeah, you're so great. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. How much of a asshole you are. I appreciate it. Not really, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the honesty. When I see now, I appreciate those situations on a whole different level. And I like to have these conversations that we're having, like the one we're having now, because at this age, I'm hoping that somebody that is, I don't care if it's 5 years younger than me, 10 years younger than me, whatever, listen to this conversation and don't wait until they're my age to make the correction or to make or to take in the lesson. Absolutely. I'll please learn it sooner. And the sooner that you learn it, then you'll teach somebody that's even younger, and then they'll teach somebody younger. And then we just get ahead of the game, because right now, this generation, Gen X, we terrible. When I say we first of all, we hostile, we violent, and we rogue. Okay, we hostile, we violent, and we rogue. And I don't even know how we got that way, but I understand how we got that way, because if you're going through some of the things that we have been through, and then trying to, this whole generation, I was like, damn, the world was trying to fuck us up. You know what I'm saying? Like we was out here, and so instead of trying to make right, like by our little brothers and sisters and our children, yeah, we kind of entitled the shit out of everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now we mad at this crazy Gen Z because they
these participation award
oh
children.
My God.
Because I didn't never got a participation
I'm
award.
like you
I only
need,
got
you,
if I actually like first,
did
second,
you, did
third.
I win?
That was it, right?
No, well, you know, everyone's a winner. No, they're not.
No,
they're not. They're,
No.
Everybody is not a winner.
No, we're
guys.
not at all.
Everybody, I just already said everybody is not a winner. Everybody is. And I know y'all gonna be mad at me. This everybody's not a boss. Everybody is not. Everybody is not. You can be. No, you cannot. You cannot listen. Okay. I'm gonna lean in. Y'all know when I get ready to lean in, about to say, I'm about to say to be the truth. It's my truth, and this is you don't have to agree with me, and you might be pissed off when I'm done. Listen to what I'm saying. I said this last week. I'm gonna say it again. I'm saying it in the past, and first of all, entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
It's not.
Okay, everybody is not a boss. In some skill sets, cannot be acquired. Okay, I can't play the drums. I'm gonna tell you right now. My hand-eye coordination is, I'm just looking on the camera, it's not going to allow my feet to tap one thing, my hand to be doing another, and the feet to be doing things individually, my hands. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen is I'm going to fuck up the whole rhythm, and everybody going to be mad at me. Okay? But I know this or whatever. Could I play the piano? Probably. Can I play play the guitar? Probably, because I practice some things. I tried that. But what I can't do is play the drums. I can't. It takes a special kind of a split-minded person to be able to operate multiple areas of their brain at the same time. Okay, everybody can't do that. Okay, also, sorry, vocal cords can be trained to be stretched in a certain capacity to mimic and or duplicate sounds. Absolutely, they can. You can train a person to do that. You cannot fix their ears. Okay, you cannot, because if they eardrums are damaged or are underdeveloped or can't process, then they aren't going to hear the same sound. Okay, so no matter how hard they try, they won't be able to unless they can learn from an augmented perspective, which is a very unique situation. Okay, which means that everybody can't sing well. Notice the statement, because we can all lift a joyful noise unto the Lord. Okay,
and it's also subjective too.
A joyful noise unto the Lord. Now it can be joyful as long as you're feeling good, and it can be a noise, but it may not be the most
might
beautiful
not be a pleasant
noises. It may not be the most beautiful noise, and that's okay. Okay, and that is okay,
because I sound lovely in the shower.
Listen. Also, another listen. Here we go. We still talking about them. Also, creative right name for everybody. Okay, it just ain't okay. Everybody's story ain't funny. Everybody's story ain't enduring and touching. Everybody can't put together. That's why people got different talents and different skills. It's okay to not be able to do what other people can do, and it's some stuff that you can learn to do, but it's some stuff you cannot learn. Some stuff just is. Okay, I know that's messed up. I know that's hard to process. Some things just are. Now that comes in the capacity of many things. Some things just are, and everybody don't have all the it's, and it's okay. Like nobody wants you to be perfect or all encompassing. Have what you come with. Have what you come with. You know what I mean? And develop those wonderful things that you come with. Develop them all. You know what I'm saying? If you are the best shoestring tire in your family, you tie them shoes. You hear me? You tie him. Did you see the little boy that said he's the door holder in the play? Baby, let that baby hold the door.
Or also to work on those skills that no one else can take away from you.
Come on, you got to fine tune the skills
your
you got.
Communication skills.
Come on,
you know your personality, all those things.
Master the skills you came with. You tell them. Yes.
That's all.
You can be cheerful. Well, I sound like the little boy. Mom, you can be whatever you want to be. You can be the cheeriest person you like. That somebody can't make you not be that. You can. You can be motivated. You can go and find all the most encompassing words that'll make people feel like a masterful. That make people feel masterful. You can share those words with them. Yes, you can. No, they may not be moved to the capacity in the same breath because you might have the other end, but you can share words.
Yes.
Do it. Do it. Do it. You might be able to put some of the best colors together, best patterns together in the do it.
Right.
That don't mean you can lay the brick. Okay, don't mix the cement if you can't. Okay, if you ain't anybody tell you find the balance of the cement, don't do. Be okay with that. I'm not saying don't try the skill set, learn it, but be okay with not being the master. Show enough.
That's right.
Okay.
And it's okay for you to have your own glow. When you got that glow.
That's what I'm saying. You understand what I was showing up. You understand what I'm saying? Marima says, and I quote, people avoid face-to-face conversations because the level of vulnerability required is terrifying to them. And that shit is live. There's no backspacing available, and they cannot manage their emotional participation. Great show. Merry Christmas to you also, Troy. Not a joyful noise. Yes, a joyful noise. Yes. Yes. Come on now. Serita, where you get that water? The only place I found it in Milwaukee is at the dang 7-Eleven.
I ordered off of Amazon. So I get it by the case off Amazon. There you go.
There you go. Stop it, Trace. Then I got in trouble. She said, and the cases are heavy. Now I done got in trouble for my honesty. Now listen, I know that wasn't fun for everybody to experience what I was just saying, but I'm just saying also that it's no judgment if you can't. It's okay, but again, with the honesty for self, pursue it, find out, try it, because only one way to know that if you can or not is to do it. And then if you can't, to the capacity that others are doing it, be okay with that and be okay with what you come with. Okay? Because you can come with all kinds of amazing things. Some of y'all can roll your hips in a way that my hips would never imagine moving. I would love it. I can't even hula hoop properly. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's awesome. Some of y'all dog whisperers and talking to the dogs and making them do weird, quick things and learning fast. Everybody don't have that's a skill set, a whole other level of spiritual skill set. I think dog whisperers and people that change animals is just a thing.
Cesar Milan.
Come on, I'm like, who is doing that? Really?
That Cesar Milan is a dog whisperer.
I'm like, who is doing that? It's something on. You got a whole spirit with you that's talking to the animal and you don't even know it. Making it nice and smooth for y'all. I'm just saying, some people are techies. You know, all the little buttons to push on here. Knock yourself out.
Right. And as a matter of fact, make me a little video and show me so that way I can have it
when
when you ain't around.
And push, push the like right now, my mother, I remember when I was younger, and my mother used to tell me, you could do anything. You have to take your time, either read directions or pay it. Look at the chords. Look at how things are connected. You know what I'm saying? And follow my mother taught me that. She said, somebody might not be around. You have to be willing to take the time to read the directions and then watch the connectivity of how these things are put together. And then so you can duplicate it over and over and over again. Okay. Now at a nice ripe 68, my mother looked at the TV when we was programming the remote and she was like, I don't know about this TV. I was
like, wait a minute, ma'am.
I'm like, first of all, this button ain't changed. and this button is still right here. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to check myself and been like, you did say 68, right?
Yep.
And I can't remember what happened to me when I was 10. and let alone, you know what I'm saying? Come on. You know what I'm saying? How dare I be like, but mama, you supposed to know. And she was like,
and even with those remotes too, they don't got numbers, nothing on them no more. They just got an up and down button. That's it. Then they got a back and forth. You're like, wait a minute. What am I supposed to?
Like this is not 19
from this remote.
Come on, 1983 Apple. Back up to left right. Stop. What is that? Back up to left right. Wait a minute. Now we reprogramming. Programming what? You done made it so that the function buttons are the okay.
Yeah.
How about no? You read the paper.
Right.
I read this one paper yesterday, and it was written from the back to the front. Like when I opened it up, like all the beginning directions was down here, and it was like this. I was like,
which means whoever actually printed that was definitely from another country, and that's the reason why I was like that.
Why is this backwards? Who's reading it?
But that's because we're the only country that reads like that, though.
Left to right.
Think about it.
I'm like, please don't do this to me. I sit there and looking at these buttons. I'm like, I can't look at another one. I'm pushed this button several times.
I'm a YouTuber. I will YouTube the mess out some stuff to figure out something. Because I'll be like, I don't know how to use this. And if I can't find my son or one of them other kids, like I said, one of them other kids, I got to find a way.
Oh my goodness. What you got going on with your business, Serita?
Well, I got a few things going on, actually.
Let's talk about that.
I am working on a couple of ebooks right now. One ebook is about intuition, because I'm recognizing that with how society has us all set up, we are not listening to our bodies. So in order to be able to listen to your body, I want to give you some tools on how to be able to start that process. Because I recognize with, when people are initially working with me, these are some of the things that they are having issues with. So it's like, okay, let's work on that. I also have another one I'm working on for self-love, because that's another piece as well too, that we got to be able to go ahead and love ourselves. You know, the saying goes, if you don't love yourself, how you gonna be able to try to love somebody else? And sometimes
we'll have to have a show specifically on that, because I got questions about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So that's another one I'm looking at as well too. And then also fear, because I did a little poll a couple weeks ago, just asking people. I said, have you allowed fear to stop you from living your wildest dreams? And I had a lot of people saying yes. And so with them saying yes, I said, well, what is it? What have you recognized? What type of fear is it? Because sometimes it's like we're talking with the emotions, we just label it into one thing. It's like, no, it's deeper than that. Like, what is your fear of? Do you have a fear of success? Do you have a fear of failure? All those different things like that. So kind of pulling those pieces together as well too. So looking at getting those, one of them, I want to keep my fingers crossed, trying to get it done by the end of this month. If not, you'll definitely get it for January.
Okay.
But I'm kind of like slowly dripping those out on my website. So that way you can have the ebook, and then eventually I'm going to do the actual hard copy and everything as well too.
Nice.
So that's one. Also working on my store. So my store is going to be up on my website soon, because I've been having everybody like, what's going on with the Bang and Body Butters? What's going on with the candles and everything as well too, which I do the Reiki soy infused candles as well. Come on. And the Bang and Body Butters as well too. Both are also organic ingredients as well.
Okay.
So everything is plant-based and safe. So vegan, if you want to say that, because it's plant-based.
Okay.
And so that will be also on there as well. And I am working on a journal. And the journal is going to be a chronic pain journal. But what's different with it is that it's not going to be focused on that.
Okay.
We focusing on everything. Because I feel like oftentimes we're not recognizing the lifestyle, all those different things like that. So I want to give you a space where you can just put everything here and let's talk about it. Whether it's stuff that you want to talk to your doctor about that you're not quite sure, whatever's coming up in your mind at that moment. If you want to put down like your prescriptions and stuff that you're taking, whatever the case may be, whatever is there, you're going to have a space for it. Okay. So that's another piece I'm working on as well too. So I want to get more pliable things that people can put in their hands that they can be able to go ahead and use. Because I know a lot of us are self-starters as well too. And as much as I want to be there for everybody, I have to be realistic and be like, here's the tools. I'll give them to you. and then we can come and move forward.
Okay.
And I'm also looking at the alleviation agenda, which would be my 8-week intro to holistic pain management. I'm looking at getting that up and running for next month as well. So starting to have people, so inquire if you're interested. With it, it's educating about what chronic pain actually is, what it can come up as, in the body as well. Also looking at the emotional aspects, looking at, as you were mentioned earlier, it's not a one size fits all solution. So looking at how you build your team, because you got to have your team of people. Because of course I got a massage therapist on deck, a couple of them, to be able to go and help out, acupuncture, Reiki, all those different tools like that, to be able to go ahead and use them. And the goal at the end of the 8 weeks is to have your own personalized pain management program for yourself.
Nice.
So that way you can try the different tools and things that we're going over. And it's going to be an hour-long class, each week. Might go to an hour and a half, depending upon how the question and answer system goes. But it'll be done via Zoom. Okay. And if you're not able to attend that week, that's okay, because it's going to be recorded. Send you the recording. So just reach out. That information is on my website, which my website is IamChronicallyResilient.com. So that way, same as my business name as well. So that way you can go ahead and get that info. And also, too, I am looking at doing more workshops. So I also do customized workshops, lunch and learns, and also public speaking as well. So you can definitely reach out to me as far as for seeing, what different things are in my wheelhouse, because your girl knows a lot. I got a lot of, background on different things, and I'm being tapped into for other spaces that I have not really, I should say I've talked about publicly, but not have given more of the knowledge behind that. And I'm also revamping my social media too. So you're going to be seeing more of me. I know I've been trying to hide, try to hide in the background, and I can't continue to hide in the background.
Absolutely not. Can you say the website one more time?
Sure. I am chronicallyresilient.com.
I just want to make sure that I'm putting it right there. There you go.
There you go. I'm chronicallyresilient.com. So yep, it's all there. It's beautiful. It looks amazing.
I just felt like I was like, this. So I just want to make sure that people can actually see it and have a good positive reference of it right there, whatever the case may be. Do you have any classes coming up? Do you have any workshops that people can? Is that on your website?
Information is on my website. I don't have anything currently going on. However, I am going to be, and this is a sneak peek, y'all. So let me come into the camera and tell y'all. So February 1st, I'm going to be at the Ambition Center doing their community corner. So I'll be there from 6 p.m. to 7:30. And I'm going to be sharing my journey, and then also giving you more information on how you can work with me and how you can even start working on your healing journey yourself.
Nice.
So that will be happening for Black History Month.
Marima said, thank you for the information regarding the water. That little extra fee for cases of water is valid. And then let me see. Auntie Rita said, well, people still believe that Mary J. Blige can sing. I think she's a great writer, not a vocalist, just as I think Janet Jackson, great performer, average vocals. Opinions varied. Well, I concur. With either of them. Mary J. Blige got a lot of love and passion in her vocals, and it make people connect with her in a capacity that people can't even understand. And that's all that is. Janet is she Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, you might think I'm crazy, but I'm serious. Yeah. Right, exactly. But she don't even talk like that. But that's another story. You know what I'm saying? But her using her falsetto was how people got connected to her. But it was at the time we all know, Auntie Rita, that the industry establishes some type of just connection with you. Again, they make you feel like you know the artist,
right?
And then you begin to love them, whether it's legitimate or not. Just like Mary and Casey, if loving you is all that I have to do. Yeah, it went down.
Which they'll be in Vegas, Jodeci.
First of all, somebody said to me, and I know we get ready to go, said to me, I thought when people do residencies, it's because they old musicians do residencies. And so here this was my statement. I said, well, that's partially true. You know what I'm saying? They was like, well, how is Usher? I said, first of all,
Usher been in the game for 30 years.
Thank you. I said, Usher been in this music industry for 30 years. If that's not old, that's old on GP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And thank you. What job you have for 30 years?
Right.
And they was like, but he's been working for over 30 years. And they was like,
93.
I didn't think about that. I'm like, well,
1993.
Yeah. So he's in here. And so this is his job.
Yeah.
And he's in retirement mode on y'all asses.
He's like, gonna be a young retiree too.
Young, hanging out, chilling, doing this little thing. And
with
he
his
can pop
kids
up when he want to, like Diana Ross. It's my house. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't mind me. As we ready to wrap up, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me every Monday, 1 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm currently seeking guests for the show, and you can actually be in present like I am right now, or you can be live like Serita is now. We're double checking my webcam exchange, and she's here with me.
Right.
Actually,
I really am here.
She really is here with me, but
that's why I keep looking over my phone and not really looking at y'all, and I keep forgetting, like,
you know what I'm saying? So that you can see the exchange, whatever the possibilities. You can call in from this way. You can call in 414-885-4739 and share and let your voice be heard, because it's definitely encouraged. Thank you to everyone who attended the open house for Calm Wellness Services this last week. It was so good.
It was.
I'm like, okay, y'all, let's see.
Regardless of the rain, it was
Come
still
on
lovely.
now. They was out here. Shout out to Munchies and Yadine's for that bomb food. They out here.
Ooh, that chicken.
Oh, she said the chicken. Yes. Shout out to Baked Dreams for that apple pie cupcake. And everybody that came through to just hang out, chop it up, connect, and all the details. I definitely want you to encourage you to inbox me, send a request if you want to be a guest on the show. Or if you have topics you'd like for us to discuss, that would be great. Maybe it's not you that be a guest. Maybe you set the topic and I'll find us a good guest to offer the conversation up for. Okay. We have so much going on. If you'd like to know more about, we're still in the middle of December sales. So December sales go very well. With right now, we're looking for men who are looking to add to, enhance, or begin their wellness journey. I'm encouraging all men to participate in wellness opportunities, especially the ones that we offer. And we do have a 25% off sale for all male participants, and a buy one get one free for them also. If you really, really need a discount on your lady, inbox me and we'll talk about it. But girl, get it for your guy or your brother or your uncle or your daddy or your older than 18-year-old son, because I don't service children. But that's another story. This is an adult facility, and I like to facilitate in adult capacity. And though there are children who do need services, maybe we'll have a kids' day. Maybe we'll do something sort of like that when the summertime comes. Or maybe I'll just do some bomb ass referrals to people who offer services to young people. Okay. I want to encourage you to take care of yourselves. Do better by yourselves. Be honest with yourselves as best you can. You know what I mean? Like, nobody is perfect, and we're not forcing perfection on you. Just, better every day, better every moment. And better could be whatever better is for you. Okay. All the things. What else I got going on? Come book an appointments. Oh, don't forget to go to the website. Welcome, WELKALM.com. WELKALM.com. That's like welcome, you're welcome. Don't forget to tune in on Wednesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. for the Bartender's Lounge. We'll be in all the places too. Yeah. Check it out, it's dope. I'm enjoying that show. We've been having some really good conversation. Did you see last time they made me drink? They didn't make me do nothing. I tricked them to drink the Taylor Port.
Well, we remember on Mimi's, we had that same situation go on, and Tommy was a little belligerent.
Y'all drank the Taylor Port?
We did, but Tommy drank the majority of it. We kind of kept passing the bottle around, and you just keep passing it, but you don't stop with it. But Tommy was stopping it. Oh Lord, that's what he did.
We mixed it in, and all I'm gonna say is that we were stuck.
Yeah.
But that episode is available on our YouTube channel. You should go check that out, because
I will definitely.
Kelly thought people was behind us outside. It went bad. It went bad. like quickly.
And I understand because Tommy got up and was just like talking. He was just all like, we like, sir, it's just us in the room. Like, there's nobody else. You don't gotta.
It did something to you, see?
Yeah, it definitely it changes people.
It did change. Don't do it if you don't have to. I know Taylor is like, fuck y'all. get off my beverage. I know. Somebody compared it to Mogan David. I'm done. All right, then. Well, thank y'all for hanging out. Y'all take care. It's been real. Till next week, y'all. I'll holler. Bye.